we are live.
Okay. Pull it up on my end so I can watch the chat.
All right, guys. In this video today, we're going to walk you through how to get a free macro calculator. It's how you can get more leads inside your business, right? We talk about this a lot. You can't get a client without a lead. And what better way to get a lead if you're a macro-based fitness coach than giving somebody general macros automated where you don't actually have to do any of the setting. But what a great way to get somebody to get on the phone with you to talk about those macros, right? Because it's like, hey, these are the things that we want to suggest you do for somebody like you. And then have you ever tracked them before? Do you know what foods you're going to do? Like, do you know your percentage of processed? Like, so now you get to ask these type of questions and then lead up to that call. So today we're going to break down what that looks like, how we set up for all of our AR clients, and yeah, Baker, I'm gonna let you take it away from right off the top. So how did we um, come up with this new idea that we got?
Yeah, so our internal resident ninja actually built this out in the back end of AR, and she got challenged by a client to build it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think she kind of went down, like all of us tend to do, went down a rabbit hole of like, this is gonna frustrate me if I can't figure this thing
That's
out.
right.
I want to build this and make this client happy and kind of go above and beyond. And so she ended up, I think she texted me super excited at like midnight one night after she had spent 4 hours actually building this thing out. And there's a bunch of custom calculations and everything, and they wanted a specific formula and all. So it was a huge build out for this person. And once it was done, it was kind of like, whoa, now I kind of like, now we have the ability to do a
Mm-hmm.
macro calculator. Like, this is a genius lead magnet, and a lot of coaches are trying to do these in roundabout ways, and now they don't have to lift a finger. And so it was created out of pure kind of like creativity or challenge from a particular client. And then we are able to take this now and use this to elevate fitness coaches on AR as a whole. And so that's kind of where it was born out of, was Felicity's determination to keep everybody happy and over deliver.
That's right. So if you don't know what AR is, we are basically acquisition and retention funnel. We build out automated lead magnets for when somebody clicks the link in your bio, fills out the form. This link in your bio we give you, replace Linktree, Typeform, all that other stuff. Focus on getting leads. So from link in bio, form, going into automated workflows, automated SMS, text message, emails, all the way down the voicemails. Once they respond, goes to two-way conversation. From there, we want an appointment set, book them on the calendar system that we give you. You collect payment through the platform, and then they go into their weekly check-ins that we're going to automatically send out the forms for them to fill out. That's about as easy as I can make it. It's very complex to build, which is also why we do it for you. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah. We
So,
have we also have an hour long video going through every step of the process on the channel as well if you want to check that out.
yes. So, let's walk through what it would look like. Let's say somebody's posting in their story, right? And so it's like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm going to set a few people's macros for free. All you got to do is just click the link in my bio, enter in your information, and then I'll get in contact with you and get you over those macros.
I'll take that a step further, Mike. Imagine a world in which you're on your story and you say, DM me macros and I'll set your macros for free.
Mm.
And then every single person that DMs you macros gets a DM from you automatically without you having to DM them. Automatically they get it. And it says, hey, just need a few quick data points from you. Just fill us out real quick and send me a response whenever you get it done. And then that sets off the entire sequence for you. So when somebody fills out this quick form, now all of a sudden we have name, phone, and email, which is the important thing, which is the entire reason that we're really doing this,
That's right.
other than getting conversations started. But we get name, phone, and email. We get important stats from this person: age, gender, height, weight, what their goals are, most importantly of all. And then we're also engaging in a text and email conversation with them on top of DM. Now, I go from random fitness coach you follow to going above and beyond, setting your macros for you, and we are DMing, texting, and emailing all on the same day. How powerful is that?
So let me just recap for those people and let you answer this question. So you're saying that they only need to do one software, which is AR Funnel, So they don't need like ManyChat or Typeform or any other type of website. So basically, we can have it set up, which we set up for the coaches. Comment the word macro, whatever keyword we want to use. It automatically DMs them, starts conversation, sends over the link for them to fill out the form that we build inside AR. They fill out the form, name, number, email, all other Instagram or whatever information that we want to get about them. Automatically calculates their numbers. Has a specific time delay so it doesn't look like it's like submit numbers, so it doesn't look fake. Gives them a general numbers, a range actually. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it goes into an automated text message and email, which we're asking them about questions about the macros they just received.
Yep.
Then they respond. It goes to two-way conversation. And here we are now talking with somebody about their macros. And all you did was ask somebody to DM you the word macro. And now we're now texting.
Yep.
Pretty fascinating.
Yep.
So I think this becomes the difference between coaches that are like, I need to set something up. But then when I described all that, how many coaches right now are going, how do you do that?
Well, how many coaches too are thinking about what they're currently doing, which is probably some version of, I've got 5 spots available this month for people to come into my online coaching business, right? Raise your hand now if you want to come in, or DM me right now. How many more people do you think are going to come into your ecosystem and start conversations with you with that post versus, hey, I want to set your macros for free? A person that maybe never even heard the term macros. Like, they know it's important, but they don't know exactly what it is. They don't know how to eat, right? They don't know how to actually look at a nutrition label and understand what's happening. So which one do we think is going to convert better? I think the obvious answer is setting macros, doing something for free for the person versus just a hard sell. Mm-hmm. And then out of those people, we just gave them an immense amount of free value, and then we started the conversation for you. And then if they have any questions at all, it's like, hey, I could go back and forth. And I think Dustin's patented line is, I could write a 9,786 page book on this if you want, or I could just jump on a call with you and help you out with all the questions you have. And then you just get them on a call. And if nothing else, you give them more free value. Yeah. But that is such an easier route and such a better route in terms of friction being removed from the process, and really the I guess how big the situation feels and how scary it feels for the lead. We're just giving you something free. Let's hop on and talk about it.
Yeah, I love it. And also too, right? We didn't even mention this. We also can set up to where you can create a reel or a post and say, comment the word macro, whatever keyword, and the same thing happens. We send them a DM and start conversation. Yep. So now it's like, well, Mike, I only get like 50 story views. That might not be that many. Okay, well, did you get 1,000 real views? Do you get 15,000 real views? Do you get 150,000 real views? How many people are going to want their macros set for free? Quite a few people. And so if you're a macro-based fitness coach and you make any type of content that's around food or macros, you want to talk about like ideal lead magnet, right? It just goes so great hand in hand. And that's why all these apps, like, think about this, like, how big is MyFitnessPal? You get to tap into that audience in a whole new way versus having to have somebody like you said, raise their hand and activate that insecurity. Now we get to let them make that decision to get that free value versus them having to say, like, I need help, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be really great for a lot of great coaches. I'm excited to bring it to the table. For anybody that posts online and has like a sliver of knowledge on what to do on social media, right? We have 2 problems that are inside a business. Either we got a social problem or a funnel problem. And most of the time, it's a funnel problem. But let's say you got like 5, 10,000 followers, like minimum, right? Or even 50, 500, right? For all those other people that are watching. Those are my favorite because it's like they're just sitting on gold and they just have no idea because they just don't have a funnel. Mm-hmm. Which is why we can take a coach that's got 5,000 followers and make $20,000 a month.
Yep.
So we can just fix the funnel, even though you don't even have an incredible social. So be able to take somebody that can basically speak in their stories, has an iPhone, makes good content, is macro based. And now we actually give you something where you don't have to go create an ebook. You don't have to go create a different type of lead magnet. You don't have to create a community, right? Do we suggest we put in all the work to do all the things? Of course. But it's a really great way to get people to instantly get coaches rolling off the bat.
We had an interesting comment here too, from Xavier. Xavier said, the DM me if interested play has definitely slowed down for me a bit. So I guess and I don't know if that's exactly his call to action, but talk about the difference between DM me if interested and comment macro.
Yeah. So this is how I kind of view it. Right. And I know Xavier personally, and I know that he's bigger in the Facebook world, I think, in the IG world. And for anybody that starts out, right, or has good growth, you're only going to convert 3% of your audience of those that want to purchase from you, right? So we look at it from this standpoint. If I'm growing at a 1% rate, then the 1% is less than the 3% conversion. So if I'm getting 100 people a day that follow me that would potentially be interested in working with me, and I said DM me, you would get 3 people a day, right? In the numbers world, keeping it simple. But if you're only growing 3 people a day or 30 people a day, your conversion rate is going to be less than 1. So it's going to take much more time. And so once you've exhausted your audience and you've used up your 3%, then it is going to be lower of a conversion because our growth rate doesn't match our conversion rate. So if your growth is flat, your call to action is going to work, and then it's not going to work. If your growth is vast, then this line is going to continue to match it as it goes up. Yes. So if you're not actively growing, then you've got to work on a strategy that casts a broader net versus just a hot net based on that 3%. So that goes for any type of company, right? It comes from a coffee company, e-commerce company. Growth has to match conversion, or we're not going to have any new leads. That's just why social media is so important to get new people in, right? So if you've exhausted it, it's going to stop working. And that's, you also too, it goes for any type of lead magnet though, right? So let's say that you create a lead magnet for your group and you don't grow and you exhaust that group for the next 6 months, no one else is going to join the group. So we got to come up with a different lead magnet because maybe, these people like the group, but these people didn't want to join a group. But maybe those people would like an ebook.
Yep. Maybe
those people would like a macro calculator for themselves. So you have basically different tactics for different people. Because, for example, some people love free shipping. Some people love 15% off. And some people love a BOGO. Some people love a free shirt with any order over $25. And basically what that means is that different types of lead magnets or marketing tactics speak to people in a different way. And so that's why there's a difference in colors. That's why there's a difference in subject lines, all trying to do the same thing, convert into a sale. I just have to speak the language that works best for you in the place in which you're at.
Yep.
And that basically boils down to this on that last statement. Where you're at. We got to meet the lead where they're at versus where we want them to be. So maybe they're just in the mood or in the phase of life of joining the group. Maybe they're in the mood of filling an application. Maybe they walk past the mirror and go, I need to lose weight. I need to take action. And then in 2 hours, they walk past the pantry and they change their mind. So different lead magnets are going to speak to people in different phases of their life, which is why we need to constantly come up with different type of tactics to build an overarching strategy. If you have one tactic, it's going to work well until it doesn't. And then you're going to keep thinking and pounding the paper. Well, I've been doing this and it used to work. I'm just going to keep doing it more. I'm just going to do it every day. And it's like all you're doing actually is just proving the point that everything has a life cycle. So we need to bring something else in, create a different life cycle. Different life cycle. Hopefully that helps explain to a lot of people that we're doing one thing and it stopped working. This is why.
Yep. Absolutely. And I think the weight of getting something for free versus DM me if interested, it plays a big role in it too.
Totally. Right? Everybody wants something for free. And also, too, how much more likely are you to try to pitch and selling free stuff than you are trying to pitch and sell yourself? You know what works really well is like whenever you pitch and sell yourself and it works, you're like, that was great. Let's do it again. Confidence high. Versus I'm looking for 5 people and then not one person DMs you. You're like, I don't want to do that again. That's embarrassing. I mean, no one knows, but I hate myself right now.
You feel like everybody knows.
Right. You feel
I feel like it's obvious.
man, I must just suck as a coach. No one wants to work with me.
When people
It's
realize
like, no one's just ready to pay you. There's a difference.
Yeah. And when people realize that it's not working is when you're using that every week. It's like I've got 4 spots left in my coaching business, and then the next week I've got 5 spots left in my coaching business. And it's like people now understand the pattern of like either you're always lying about how many spots you have left, or nobody's filling any of the spots. So that's a big reason of it.
There's another thing that just come to mind. Alex Hormozi says you need to solve a problem while creating another one. So if I solve your problem, like, I don't know my macros. Great. Here they are. And it's like, what's the other problem? I don't know how to track them, even though now I know them. Or I don't know what adjustments I should make, even though now that I have them.
Yeah.
It's like whenever you go to a bar, what do they put out? Salty peanuts. I'm hungry. Here, have some salt. What does that do? Creates a problem. What's the problem? I'm thirsty.
Yep.
So I give you free peanuts so that you buy the beer. You buy the drink. So it's give value. And because of it, we're going to sell them something else to fix that problem that we just created for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And really the other thing that he says that is the whole premise of everything that we've tried to do as far as bringing this new kind of approach to the coaching industry is make your free stuff better than most people's paid stuff. Right? And so most coaches aren't setting macros for people until they become a coaching client. One of the most successful coaches that Mike and I know got their start by manually going in and setting people's macros in the comments of their posts. Not automatically, like we're talking about. Like you guys have to do a lot less work because we've come a lot further away in the software. But this coach would go in and just set people's macros in their comments. Like how genius is that? Because now every person, even if they don't ask for their macros to be done, like every person is going through your posts and looking. They're like, look how much value she's giving for every single person in her comments. Like her actual clients must get a red carpet treatment. Like this is insane. So that's what you're trying to kind of provide and show is that you're willing to do all of this stuff for free, and it could be literally everything that you do with your current clients. But when you do that, and when you give away the farm up front, people now cannot help but wonder, whenever I start paying this person, or even feel like they need to pay you to repay you for everything they've already received.
Right.
Which is something Hormozi does with all of his content. That's the reason that he constantly gives everything for free. It's like he wants you to take it and use it, and he wants you to get so much value from him that when you hit that, like you're trying to get your business to that acquisition.com little lever right there so that you can give him part of your company. Like that's what he wants.
Did you buy more than one book?
Bought 3.
Bought 3. How many of those books do you still have?
1.
Okay. So I bought 3 too. Right? I still have the other 2. Because you bought 1 or 3, Felicity bought them. Like everybody bought them, right?
Yep.
Even though y'all knew that I was buying them. But it's like, well, I want to support because of all the help in which you've given me. And so it's like, it's just the rest of the process. It's like, we just want to give you more money because we appreciate what you've done.
Yeah.
And that's how that works. Is like, if the person feels like they haven't gotten anything, then they don't feel like it's going to be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I've given you a lot of value, I'm not going to argue that, yeah, so they charge an extra $50 a month than the last person I worked with. So what? It's been amazing experience so far. And that's the difference between like high quality brands and low quality brands. Does Walmart give you free champagne when you walk in? Does Gucci? See the difference. And so that's where it's coming. Is like, I'm going to actually get, like, you can just shop around and not do anything. Would you like a drink? Actually, I think I would. And then you talk about that experience and you remember that experience and how pleasant it was. It's like, you know what? I might have to come back on Christmas and get one of these bags.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah.
That's why they do it.
Yeah, and
Cool.
for the real nerds out there, just so everybody knows, like what with a macro calculator, one thing you typically run into is somebody calculates for a specific goal or maybe a deficit and puts in their activity level at XYZ to start out. And they're like, well, wait a second, what if I was more active? How much more could I eat? And then they'll go in and they'll fill out a macro calculator multiple times. Okay. So what we did to combat that, to keep it organic feeling from the coach when the coach is running the numbers behind the scenes inside of our automations, is we changed to make it to where they can't get the same message twice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we made it to where it organically comes across no matter how many times they put it in. And that is also going to be the difference between a person feeling like this was an automated macro calculator and a person feeling like this coach took the time out of their day to quickly respond to me with custom macros. So that's kind of another benefit and a thing that's different about what we created versus what you see on the market with other kind of like calculator plugins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like there are other apps out there that connect to like WordPress.
Yep.
So you can get free macro calculator, but it's like, great, they fill it out and then you receive an email. And it's like, what? So now I got to go out and manually reach out to this person that wants something from free for me.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's a lot of things in place that create this where it's really easy, and then able to just keep it so much more organized. And the truth is, if you're doing over 10,000 a month in sales already, everything we've said should be jiving through and through.
Mm-hmm.
But for those that are kind of like fresh into understanding what lead magnets are and funnels in general, it's like these are the foundation of any type of business. You can't scale without systems and softwares, like period.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't manage your clients. Like think about it like this. Everything you use is a system or a software, right? Your iPhone, Instagram, Google Sheets, Typeform, Trainerize, Calendly, or whatever else. So there's ClickFunnels. All these things are different softwares, right? So you're going to have them to grow. The biggest bottleneck typically is, Mike, I know I need to send emails, but I don't know how, so I don't send any.
Yep.
I can't send an email, but you want me to set up a funnel with automated text messages in a form? Like, nah, bro, I'm looking for 5 people. I'm just going to take the easy route.
Yep.
And so once we figured out that it's like, not figured it out, just ask the old me, right? And it's like, where were you at 2012 when you started online coaching? Did you have any idea what it is you were doing? No. So other people probably don't either. So why don't you just help them get started? Because they're driven, they're motivated, they're hungry, they want success. They just need a push. And if I can get it going, man, you're going to off to the races. And that's why coaches that are doing over 10K a month never leave our program. We've only had 3 people drop, is because that motivated, driven, high level achievable individual sees it and goes like, oof, like now I'm like got a runway. I know exactly where I need to go and how I can do it. And I appreciate you help building me out. Mm-hmm. So if you are interested in wanting to figure out how you can get this inside your business, all you got to do is just comment below. We'll be happy to reach out to you. You also can click the book a call link in the section below us, or you can visit mikecrowson.com/CEO. I'd be happy to personally reach out to you and go from there. So, or hit us up on IG. I mean, whatever floats your boat, man.
Yep. Absolutely. Just as a reminder, if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you do subscribe. We're putting a lot into the YouTube channel, investment-wise, content-wise, everything. So all of our content and platforms should be linked down below, or you should be able to find it through the links down below, whether it's our Instagram, me and Mike's Instagram, all of that. But make sure you subscribe and turn on the little notification bell as well.
Appreciate you guys.